Boom, coming in hot, Chinchy. What's up, brother? How
What's
we
up,
doing?
my man? This is the best guy in the world, Sean Casey. Everybody, I'm going to take you guys behind a curtain real quick. If you watch us on YouTube, which you should, Sean Casey is standing outside a hospital right now. His dad just went into heart surgery, and he's doing this show, and I can't believe it because we talk all the time, and I'm like, Casey, you know what? Let me do a best of. Don't worry about this. And he's like, no. He'll explain to you. It probably feels good for him to kind of get this distraction and all of that. First and foremost, number one single thing is we are praying for Sean's dad. Number two, testament to how great this person is, that like he loves doing this, he loves you guys. So, you know, we know we've been kind of like bouncing around and our times have not been the same every day in the last few weeks, but it's because we're, you know, life comes first. Yep,
Yeah.
family comes first, Case, and so yeah, just give us a little perspective on where you're at and what's going on, man.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what, man? I think where I'm at, I'm really just, having to step up for my dad right now. I think that's the bottom line, my whole family. And this is what you really learn what family is all about when you really go through the tough times. And my dad's had two open heart surgeries in the last 7 months. He had recently had this, lymph node blow up like a softball. My dad and I were in the ER the other night from midnight till like 11 a.m. I get you just do what you got to do at times. I know there's a lot of people out there with families that are you, Chinch, going through it with your mom, and all of us,
Yeah.
have that connection when our parents get a little older. If there's anything that ever happens with our family, you just jump on in and you do what you got to do, for your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your relatives, whoever it is. And for me, it's been my dad. And even today we were just sitting in the ER, and we were talking about we were not the ER, we were sitting in the waiting room for like 4 hours, 5 hours, and
That's what they
we
do
just
in a
had some
hospital.
great. Yeah. But we just had some great conversations, man. Like I wouldn't trade these times with my dad for anything. It's a really helping him along and just being with him. Has given us gotten us to be even closer, and we've had some real conversations about pretty much everything. So just very grateful. I sent a tweet out yesterday of a moment. My dad was like, I just want to go sit in the sunshine. And I was like, well, let's go do it, Dad. So, got him up and got him on his walker. He can't really walk that many steps because he comes out of breath so much. But we sat on the driveway. It was just such a beautiful moment. I reached over, he grabbed my hand. I sent a tweet out about it just because, it made me just feel like, man, we really, all of us out there as human beings need to, stop, slow down, listen to the birds, look at the sunshine, and have those special moments with our families, because you just never know when it's going to be the last. And what's crazy is, Chinch, like like we do as humans, and people that are following me, it was probably the most retweets or likes I've ever had in
Right?
my whole life.
Yeah. And you're a
Shows like
professional baseball player and a celebrity, and that
right,
was the one that
right.
clicked.
So
Yeah.
exactly, because we connect through emotion as humans, and it's like 500 retweets, 24,000 likes, and for all the people that liked it or retweeted it or just felt some sort of emotion, thanks, man. We're all in this together, and I know you felt the same emotions that I felt yesterday, and just very grateful, man. Very grateful. And like, you know what? I think the bottom line is, we got to stay tough. We got to continue to run to the adversity and get through it.
Well said, man. I'm not going to add to anything of that other than keep your
Yeah,
prayers going, everybody. Sean, as we are recording
yeah,
right now, Sean's dad's in surgery. Just so you guys know that. That's how great, how impactful this is. And like I said, Sean, you are such. What do you say? What's your line about not if you're not? What if you don't do
so
it? You're not.
okay to suck, not okay to skip.
Yeah, I know. I mean, if there was ever a day where you could skip something, this would be it. But it just goes to
Wow.
it's a testament to the person, man. You're the best.
My dad's in the procedure right now, and he would probably, I know he would tell me, like, get out there and
Yeah.
do your podcast.
Awesome. All right, so let's do it
So
because we have so much to talk about. New
yeah,
York, New
baby.
York, baby. I'm in town right
Ooh.
now. It is not looking good around here.
Yeah, what are they
Strohs.
saying? What are they saying, Ginge? What are they saying?
I mean, a lot of trash talk. Dude, your buddy's getting crushed, man. Aaron's getting crushed
Is
in
he?
this town about his
Is he?
decisions. A lot of
What
carpenter
what what
issues.
what about it? What about his decisions, bro?
And
Tell me what. I mean,
the
I'm just saying
you're right.
the team, the way the team is structured, We've been saying it for
Yep.
years. You know, you get to the postseason, great pitching shuts down great hitting. You're facing the greatest pitching in the world. You can't punch out
Nope.
however many times, 17, 10. I know it
Nope.
was 40 going into game 4, but you can't punch out that many times and expect
Correct.
to beat the best pitchers in the world. It ain't happening.
Right. That's number one. He's getting crushed on playing certain guys here and there, tweaking the lineup, but screw that. Like, that's part of the game. But I thought of something interesting. The Yankee franchise that we know from, like, let's go like mid 90s until now, it all goes back to Gene Michaels, Stick Michael, back in the day. Him and actually Buck Showalter, who left before Torrey got there, but he had a lot to do with this too, is how that roster was built. And so I just, before we came on, I was like, let me pull up the 1998 Yankees. Okay, that's arguably the best Yankee team ever. You can make so many different arguments that they're not. However, here, I'm going to rip through the lineup right now and just do name and strikeouts. Okay, you ready? Jorge Posada, catcher strikeout, 92. Tino Martinez, strikeouts, 83. Chuck Knobloch, second base, strikeouts. Where'd he go? 70. Derek Jeter, 24-year-old. Most strikeouts on a team with, guess how many, Sean? 119. 119, that's not a lot comparatively. Scott Brocious, 97 at third base. Chad Curtis in left, 75. Bernie Williams, 74. Paul O'Neill had 103 strikeouts, but guess what? He had 40 doubles, 24 homers, and 116 RBIs. Darryl Strawberry was the DH for the most of the year. Only 90 strikeouts from Darryl Strawberry. That is arguably one of the greatest teams ever assembled. And you know what they did? They also didn't walk that much. You know why? Because they didn't strike out, and they put the ball in play. And that is one of the top 5, I would say top 5 greatest baseball teams of all time. The way that the league has gone over the last 5 or 10 years, you don't win with this new formula. The teams that win and go to the World Series and win a World Series are not the teams where you have 150 strikeouts and 29 homers and a high on base percentage. It's just facts. That's my Yankee fandom anger. What do you think?
Chinch, I agree, dude. Like, listen, it was so annoying a few years ago when the analytics guys started saying, "Hey, outs are all created equal." That's not true. That's not true, because if you put the ball
3
in play,
true outcomes.
And go look at the Astros game 1. They struck out twice, you know, and the Yankees struck out 17 times. So I'm just saying, you got to have a lineup that's a tough lineup, because if you got good hitters that don't strike out a lot, you can beat good pitching. You can put, because in the postseason, you got to put together rallies. You got to put together 1, 2, 3 hits an inning. It might not be a home run, but there's a run. And you're starting to see teams like maybe lay down bunts too, because we're like, oh, bunting, that's just a wasted out. BS, man. If you're getting all these guys that are striking out, we got to start moving runners. We got to start getting runners in position. Runs are at a premium in the postseason. They do not happen a lot. So, you know, if you're just relying on that one shot hitting a home run, that's hard to do. And go look at a lot of the guys that are homering are doing it off the 3, 4, 5 starters. Really off the 4, 5 starters, and maybe like the middle relief guys, or, you know, when are they hitting their home runs?
Great point.
You might say, hey, this guy hit 30-some home runs a year. Who's he hitting them off of? What teams is he hitting them off? Are they off? So, because you get to the postseason, bro, most teams have a 3-headed monster. So the 1, 2, 3 guys that are there on any other team, maybe the bad teams, they're their number ones.
Right.
So you're not homering off these guys. So the bottom line is, you can't put together a roster that is just swing and miss guys come postseason time, because you're not winning a World Series championship. I promise you that.
I think it's a great point. And let's flip it. Let's you know, not be New York centric here, and let's give the Astros credit, man. Let's give them credit.
The point is, they're built like we just said. First off, Dusty Baker's doing a great job with the bullpen. They got tons of great arms there. They got a great the rotation is great, led by Verlander, who's going to win the Cy Young award again, the age of 39, 40 years old. The lineup, you know, these guys are tough. Now you don't want to pitch Alvarez because Bregman's hot, right? And Pena's coming up with big hits. And up and down, and Altuve didn't do anything. They just swept the Yankees, and one of their best hitters in the lineup didn't do anything. I think he had 1 hit, 2 hits, something ridiculous like that. Like, he's going to get hot. So, like, you know, he's probably still a tough out in that lineup. So you look at it. You look at a team that's built to win the whole thing, built to win the World Series. The Astros are that team.
Yeah, they are, and kudos to them. So let's move on to the NL real quick, and let's say goodbye to the Padres first. Interesting, man. I gotta say, very, let's just say newsworthy season, but a very weird season. And this is a team that we got to give credit to for getting, with all the weird distractions, crazy things, struggles they've had, getting to the NLCS. Clap for them, cheer for them for that. But just they have great talent, but some serious things to, almost like functional things to figure out. You got Tatis now. Next year, you're gonna have to talk about. You're gonna hear about the struggles that some of the new guys had when they got there. However, they played very well in the playoffs. A lot of them.
Postseason.
Yeah. So what's your take there?
Well, I mean, the Padres, the way they built that team at the deadline with Bell coming over and Soto and Drury and those guys and Hader, they showed up in the postseason. All those guys, I think that was a big reason they made it to the NLCS because those guys showed up. Obviously, Machado is one of the best players in the game, but I think that I think they got a good enough rotation. I really think they do, especially with Darvish at the top there, what Musgrove was doing. I mean, I think they have a good enough rotation to to be really good. I just think that the Phillies are getting hot at the right time. They're pitching well. Their bullpen's been really good, and all those guys are hitting. From Schwarber and Hoskins weren't doing anything. All of a sudden, they're red hot. Harper's doing his thing. Hit the biggest home run of his life in Game 5 when they were down 3-2 in the eighth. Hit a rocket to left center to put them up 4-3. Ended up winning that ball game 7-pitch at bat. They're just, it's a fun team to watch. Real Muto, the way Segura's playing, he's had a couple really nice bats. Talk about putting the ball in play. He's had a couple hits that just, the other day it was a ball slider down and away from Musgrove. He literally just threw his bat out there and it blooped over right through his head, scored 2 runs. They've just got a really good team, man. They're and you got to give credit to Rob Thompson, the job that he's done after he took over Joe Girardi. I mean, it sounds like they love the guy in there. It sounds like he's an old school manager. Like he could have, with Schwarber and Hoskins at the top struggling for a while, he could have totally shuffled that. An old school manager, the way you leave the guys where they're at, know they're going to get hot. That's what he did. That was one of the most impressive things for me was he didn't shuffle that lineup, kept those guys at the top, and they got hot right when they needed to.
Yeah, I'm gonna make T-shirts. We're gonna call them the law offices of Schwarber, Harper, and Hoskins, because those dudes. When you talk about scary guys. If you're a pitcher, I know neither of us are pitchers. You played in the big leagues, but like, if you're a pitcher, I'm telling you that is a frightening lineup. And here's why again, because they may strike out, but they have impactful at bats, and Schwarber, I would say Hoskins too, and I would say Harper. They do have higher strikeout rates than a lot of the guys we're talking about, than what you really, really want. However, they're doing it with a purpose because they're going up there trying to get hits. Harper, here's the other thing about Harper. When he is locked in, he goes the other way. I mean, He has done it this series. I remember Tom Verducci like 4 or 5 years ago when Harper had that one down year and he was struggling and things were weird. Verducci did like a whole deep dive into when he's doing well and when he's not, and he got like spray charts from SI and everything, and he's like, when he's going like 2 for 4 with a single the other way, he's pulling a homer, like and. I'm telling you, man, I think we're finally starting to hopefully give credit and see credit. I know we've talked about it for the past few episodes, but I'm sorry. The man is one of the greatest players. He might go down as one of the greatest players that ever lived and one of the greatest gamers that ever lived. Did you see when he got to second base after that double and goes, "This is my effing house. This is my effing house." First of all, Phillies, congratulations, because you got him. Lucky you. And unlucky to any other team that did not get that guy that year. Because some teams, some people are like, oh, he's not as good as Trout. Screw that. I'll put him up there with anybody. I'd take him any game, any team I'm on. I want Bryce Harper on it.
I love how the owner, what's his name, Middleton?
Yeah.
John Middleton?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how he went out and was like, I'm going to Harper's house. I'm going to his house.
Yeah.
I'm flying. And I believe I don't know who the GM was at the time. I don't know if it was Dombrowski, but I think he was thinking, I'm getting this done. Like, I want this guy. Mm-hmm. I'm getting it done. I don't care. It's my money. Mm-hmm. I want to win in Philadelphia, and I'm going to go get Bryce Harper. And he did. He put his money where his mouth was, gave him the 13 years, what, 330 million, something like that.
Yeah.
But he's been worth every penny, man. He would have won I think he had a shot to win the MVP again this year had he not gotten hurt
Sure.
a couple months ago. But dude, you're right.
Oh yeah, and by the way, playing with an arm that's like Jello right now, right?
He's got a blown out UCL.
Yeah. Come on.
3/4 tear in his UCL. He's going to have surgery on.
Yeah.
You know, for me, man, Harper's must-see TV. If you love baseball, Bryce Harper loves baseball. You can tell. But, you know, dude, the way he comes through with big hits, clutch moments, puts together great at-bats, how fiery he is. It's just fun to watch, man.
I love it, man. All right, so here's what I think we should do right now. Let's get you back inside. I'm sure it's pretty nice to go get some fresh air being in a hospital.
It's really nice. It's nice to be out here.
Yeah, I know. It's a beautiful day. So let's get you back inside. Let's get everybody praying for Sean's dad big time. And let's save, I think, let's save our preview because tomorrow we can preview the shit out of the World Series. And hey, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago and we didn't do it because of extenuating circumstances, but maybe we do some Instagram lives or some YouTube lives, either previewing or reviewing the games.
Or one of the games, or when the games.
When the game starts, let's do that. All right, yeah. You're about to get arrested back there. I hear the sirens. Let's go.
What the heck's going on, bro? This is freaking
all right, Case.
Cop cars, fire trucks.
All right, brother. Thanks for doing this. You really didn't have to, man. You're the best.
All right, bro. Love you, man.
Love you, buddy.
See you tomorrow. See everybody tomorrow. Thanks for everything. See you guys. Thanks, man.